What's going on, guys? It's Hyrule Cheez-It again. Welcome back to Let's Play Donkey Kong Country. We're at Kremcroc Industries Inc. And now we're gonna do Oil Drum Alley. And I'll tell you guys right away, this is post-commentary again. Had some issues again, but not too big of a deal. And I don't mind doing post, because after you see what goes down in this world, you'll understand that it's easier to do it that way. Anyway, that was a cool double kill I just got back there. So yeah, this is probably my favorite world in the game, although after you see me play it, I may change my mind, and you'll probably understand why. But no, I was always a big fan of these industrial-looking factory levels, and the music in it is pretty awesome if you just listen to it. There's some sweet, actually, remixes on YouTube of this song, so I definitely recommend checking some of those out. There's quite a few good ones. Can't really think of any specifics off the top of my head, though. But anyway, yeah, I had quite a bit of trouble in this world. Not specifically in this level, I think. I think the first two levels go pretty smoothly, but the rest of it I can't really say went as well. But anyway, I think this level's actually a good example of some like really good level design. You'll see right there, like, they first start introducing to you having to like jump on those barrels with the flames, although I went and got the secret instead. But you know, they kind of teach you that you can jump on those barrels, and they have the little safe haven ground at the bottom before you get to do it for real here. And like little things like that, you know, you don't even realize, but go a long way. It's kind of just like, you know, teaching you the rules of what you can and can't do, because beforehand those oil drums you were avoiding at all costs. And also they do give you some leeway. If you saw, I like kind of just touched the flames a little bit there, so they give you like a little bit of a grace period when the flames come back up when you're jumping on those oil drums. And they really like to throw those orangutan guys. Yeah, this is the tricky part where you gotta wait for the flame to burn a little longer than it usually does, and then you get that grace period there. So yeah, this can be a little tricky if you're kind of trigger happy and, you know, don't time it out too well. But we get through this level smoothly. And now we are on to Trick Track Trek. And I think I do pretty well in this level too. I think I already said that, but there is a cool variation of this level in the next world that definitely kind of puts this one to shame, and it will always be kind of the more memorable one of these, like, you know, little ride levels, I guess, on this whatever treadmill looking thing that's kind of on these very flimsy supports. You can just barely see them, but they're on these little, like, it just looks like they're on these like sticks tied together. But you know, beavers on wheels, there is no logic, you know, it's Super Nintendo, and it's kind of better that way. And these guys, not in this level specifically, but those little vulture bastards tend to get me in future levels. But yeah, we do well here, as far as I can remember. I did record this a few days ago, and now I'm just doing post after spending quite a bit of time editing, and you will soon see the amount of cuts. So don't worry, you don't have to sit through a whole bunch of me playing the same parts over and over again. I have it pretty well streamlined, so I'm right back to where I was. So it's not, you know, because sometimes, you know, like, I honestly appreciate that convenience in Let's Plays that I watch. And I love how that guy, that must be like a broken thing, he just falls right through the platform pretty much every time. I don't think I've ever seen him actually land. But excuse me, I'm gonna take a sip of my water here. I don't know if you can tell, but my throat is pretty dry from the sound of my voice. But yeah, what I was saying, like, I appreciate when, you know, Let's Players make cuts, you know, so you don't have to sit through like them going through the rest of the level, unless, you know, unless they're like in the middle of talking about something interesting, which I'm usually not. But it won't matter because I'll be able to talk over the transitions anyway. This guy, I usually just like to let him like commit suicide. He kind of glitches out there for a little bit, but you'd be screwed if you tried to jump on him as Diddy Kong anyway. And they just love to throw those orangutans like right at the end, just to try and fuck you over. But I did not fall for it that time, surprisingly. Now we're at Elevator Antics. And you're gonna see the first fail coming up right here. You know, 2 seconds of the level, bam, done. So I didn't bother cutting because I was right at the beginning of the level. So we just keep going through. Yeah, this level I don't remember usually being too much of a problem. There's a few tricky parts, but not much to it. I mean, there's just a little stride at the end that gets a little tricky. But other than that, most levels here aren't too bad. They just were giving me some serious trouble for some reason. Like I said, usually it's that first Snow World level that gives me more trouble than anything else. You see, I like snuck into that cave and almost got hit by that snake. A lot of bees, and I get hit by them. Oh yeah, I found a little bit of a secret up there. I actually don't think I knew about that before. And I tried to do what I did in the last world and just kind of press it rapid fire and hoping to go through it, but didn't exactly make it. If you are trying to 100% this game, you don't have to beat any of the secrets like you do in the second and third Donkey Kong Country games. You only have to find all the secrets in this one, which I didn't know about until recently, but it doesn't really matter because I'm not much of a video game perfectionist anyway. So I think this isn't Epic Fail number 2. I think it's coming up momentarily. I shouldn't be giving them away. There you go, Epic Fail number 2. Yeah, see, so we're right back where we were. I'm like dodging these nuts, or coconuts, whatever the hell he's spitting out. Eggs. You can never really tell. I always picture them as coconuts, but how much sense does that make anyway? Yeah, so here's where like the actual tricky elevators come in. And then I just jump down right into that bee. And like I remember being very frustrated with that, just because I was trying not to fall off that edge, just trying to find that nice middle ground, and I hesitated and did as the Hawk 3.6 would call it, a Banjo-Kazooie freakout, which was actually dubbed when I was playing Rusty Bucket Bay in Banjo-Kazooie. And I was jumping around on the barrels that are in that like poison area in like the corner of the level, and I kept freaking out because I didn't feel safe on all the barrels, so I kept jumping around. But anyway, we beat that level and we're at Poison Pond, which probably gave me the most shit out of any level in this world. So if you thought I had it bad at Elevator Antics, this is where it really gets bad. Look at this, I hit that shark and then like, I'm going down here, I'm trying to find the barrel, but I guess I must have already got it. So I'm like, okay, what happened to that barrel? And I was just like, screw that, I'm not going where that shark is. I come up, and bam, stupid little fish gets me. Yeah, those things, they'll get you. There's a stride at the end with a bunch of those fishes. It's probably the most, if you have one chimp left, it's probably one of the most nerve-wracking parts of the game, because some of them will just like swim really fast and come up on you, and then like other ones are going slow. I don't know why I go for those bananas. I realize halfway through what the hell am I doing and bail on it. So yeah, I mean, you get these spiky things that they're pretty much the the primary thing to avoid, and bam, I'm dead. And I think we get a glimpse of, just a quick glimpse of one of the saddest images in all of video games. It was just a little glimpse, but because I couldn't honestly torture you guys, making you stare at that any longer than you have to, because it's so depressing to see them all beaten up and helpless. But anyway, as I was saying, these spiky wheel things are like the primary obstacle of this level. You'd think, like I always thought, like being Poison Pond, that there'd be some gimmick where you couldn't stay in the water long because it was poison or something. And I'm quite happy that that isn't the case, because that would be a lot more frustrating, I think. Although they do something similar in Donkey Kong Country 2 with the lava type water where you get to jump on the seals to like cool it down. Which I know someone commented on one of my videos saying, you know, I said this was like one of my favorite games of all time, if not the, and they said Donkey Kong Country 2 was better. And in a way, I agree. Overall, it is a more solid game. They pretty much improve on absolutely everything that they do in this game. It's something about this game, I don't know, just the atmosphere that like I really like. But Donkey Kong Country 2, I argue whether, I mean, I probably do end up liking that better in the end. The only really flaw to Donkey Kong Country 2 is they make you pay to save, and it's the most pointless task ever, because you just go back to a level you beat and you just get coins, and it's just a big time waster for no reason, which is why they got rid of it in the third one. But it was, I don't know why they decided to do that. Like, I got the whole currency thing, but for saving it was just completely unnecessary, especially because when you restarted your game you lost all your coins that you had. So that was just a pointless endeavor. But anyway, back to Donkey Kong Country. So we're getting towards the end of this game here. After this world, it's just one more world left, and then the final boss, and then I'm actually done with an LP. It's, you know, it's only taken me like 2 months, but this will most likely be the first one that I finish, unless I feel like going to town on just posting Silent Hill videos and holding the next 2 videos of this like back for no apparent reason. But anyway, we're reaching the end of this level, and this is the part I was talking about with these small fishes, where like this part, like I'm just barely dodging some of these. It gets a little crazy. And I'm just being so careful, and then I just get to this final obstacle right here. All I gotta make it through, and I die. And then, yeah, so we cut right back here. This is literally all I had to do to beat the level. I was right there, and I didn't make it. Needless to say, I was pretty pissed off when that happened. So now we're at the second minecart level, Minecart Madness, and this one I think is a lot easier than the first one, because this one, as you see just now, instead of staying in one minecart, pretty much you jump out of the cart, so you can switch into other ones, and you jump over obstacles and stuff. But yeah, it's not too bad. I feel like the first minecart one requires like much better reflexes, and a lot more things are flying at you. Oh yeah, there's that first death, and I go to an instant replay because look how screwed I go right through that minecart. Yes, I thought that was worthy of doing an instant replay, because I really did get screwed there. You can clearly see me go right through that, and that's really never happened to me before, and I was just stupid there on that midpoint thing. But luckily we're right at the barrel. I believe I did cut out an extra death in between here if anyone happens to be keeping track of my lives, which I have none. But yeah, if you were actually keeping track of actual lives, there was like a pointless death I had in between here, so I just kind of cut that out and cut to me beating the level, basically. For the sake of time, I didn't want this to be too much longer than it had to be. So yeah, pretty much I know you're at that final stride when you're hitting the Kremlings that are just sitting in the carts waiting to be killed. And they do that last slope. I almost hit that beaver, and then we're done with the level. I just do a small cut here because I went to save because I was afraid of having to do levels I already beat if I didn't save and I got a game over or something. But anyway, now I didn't even catch the name of this level, but it's probably Lights Out something. Where yeah, basically every 2 seconds the lights go out. But you know, the bananas are still illuminated, and it's pretty easy to just kind of feel out, you know, the next area you're supposed to jump to. Like, you see it and you can kind of just tell where it is in the dark. I don't know, like you can just kind of instinctively know where to go. And also, if I reach like a new platform, most of the time I will instinctively you know, jump in the air because I feel like enemies are coming. But then yes, you see that I friggin' die just before the save barrel there, which was frustrating. You know, you get right to that checkpoint, it's right in your grasp, and then you die. And it's not fun, you know? If you die just before the checkpoint, you're gonna have a bad time. That's what the ski instructor would say. So anyway, this is the actual last level before the boss, so we're at the home stretch of this world. So yeah, you can see you gotta make kind of blind jumps every once in a while. I mean, you don't have to, but you know, you can kind of feel it out, like I was saying. Yeah, there's really, you know, not much else to say. It's pretty easy when you get the hang of it. It does get tricky here when, of course, end of the level, they throw orangutan barrel guys at you. So that got the best of me for one hit. And then I like that they throw like a shit ton of Kremlings at you just to like freak you out. Like the lights come back on and all of a sudden there's like 5 Kremlings just coming at you. And then just to be a dick, they have that one fucking little crocodile guy. And yeah, so now we're at what is a pretty disappointing boss. It's literally like they ran out of ideas, and it's just like an enemy gauntlet that gets shit out of this, you know, oil drum barrel, and they just throw like 5 waves of guys at you. And you know, it's okay. Like, I would have appreciated something a little more original for the industrial world, but you know, all the bosses, a big flaw of this game, all the bosses are quite underwhelming. But you know, what can you do? You just they have a big improvement. You know, big improvement in Donkey Kong Country 2 and 3. I think they realized that was, you know, such a major flaw. But anyway, yeah, those armadillo guys, tricky bastards. But anyway, we take out the boss, and you know, not much to it. So that does it, guys, for the Kremcroc Industries Incorporated.